Hey, what's up, guys? It's Turtle with Enter the Shell, and I've already played for you the set by Chicano Batman, and with me is the band. Guys, thank you so much for joining me and doing this live set.
Thank you, everybody. So what's the occasion? We just put this party together. It's a party, right? Yeah. That's good enough occasion, right? Yeah. I think so. I agree.
Do you guys like to go out and play live at house parties, or is this something new?
This is what we were born with, bro. Backyards, carne asadas. That's how we do. That's how we roll. We're ready for you, man.
Cool.
We're ready for your backyard.
Cool. I would hope so. Chicano Batman is a really cool name. Tell me about what inspired you guys to kind of do something like that. Because whenever I think of Batman, I always say, you know what? He should have been a Chicano because his car is always like low, profile, and he always has like a lot of cool tricks.
Exactly, man. He just needed to grow out his mustache, dog. That's it. Come on, man.
All right, y'all, we're Chicano Batman. We got CDs for sale. I don't know who the DJ is, but he better step it up.
Tell me about your latest EP, Joven Navegante, right? And if I said that correctly, hell yeah. I know you guys are doing a lot of things with this. Primarily, you guys have started a Kickstarter because you guys want to do this in vinyl. Tell me about the decision to do it in vinyl, and most importantly, have you thought about straying from vinyl and doing tape?
Tape is for hipsters and shit, like we're trying to like by doing it for fucking on vinyl, we're like here, like we're marking history. You know what I'm saying? Like tape is cool, we all listen to Van Halen tapes and shit, I got my Ozzy tapes, you know what I'm saying? But but tape right now is just like, it's just a cool thing, But like to be part of a tradition where vinyl is being pressed, like we're pressing vinyl, like we're on a 3-week waiting period to have our vinyl pressed. That's like it's a very comfortable feeling, at least for me personally. Like, man, that's a process, In 3 weeks, we're gonna have that shit cemented, and then from there on to like 50, 60 years, that shit's still gonna be around. We're like taking the effort to like cement what we're doing, and we're like, it's gonna be around.
That's just the half-life of the record. I think it's like 60 years, so we got a good 120. I'm saying that's for the generations. I'm talking to you guys. All right.
Like digital shit, you can just delete that, But vinyl, I mean, how can you delete that shit? You just can't delete it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're talking about, we're in a digital age now. So how do you translate what we're doing to like, to make that last? And I mean, that's what we're trying to do. We got vinyl, you know what I'm saying? We all collect vinyl, and we just love to be part of that tradition.
And at the same time, too, I think the vinyl does capture that essence that is your guys' music, Another thing that I want to talk to you about your music is those influences, because there is a lot of like cumbia, and there is a lot of like just really cool undertones that you guys have taken with your music. Real quick, was this because you guys were influenced by your family, or was just this sound something that you guys just all came together with?
Right here, we're family. We're family, y'all. It's a family affair, you know what I'm saying?
It's definitely influenced by our families, all of us have like all that background. I mean, the 1970s was a big era for romantic music and the ballads, and you know what I'm saying, the 1970s you have farfisas, you have a certain instrumental sound that's universal, whether it's in the United States, whether it's in Asia, no matter what it is, that sound is unique, you know what I'm saying, the late 60s, 70s sound. And so, I mean, we grew up with that through basically a Latin American lens, you know what I'm saying, whether it's Gabriel and Cali. I mean, I think it's more, Gabriel, let them know where you got it from, dog.
I was influenced for music in Colombia, listening to salsa, merengue, or cumbias. Music came from, traditional, stuff. And my mom let me all those roots, and I carry all that baggage to here in the United States. So.
Juan Luis Guerra, he has this song called Burbujas de Amor. That's the new.
Yeah.
I like the 12:30.
But tell me,
my mom and my aunts, my uncles, they used to like in the kitchen and shit when we were kids. We didn't have a choice. Like you go through the kitchen and they're dancing cumbia, and you have to dance with them. They're like, ven, ven, pelón, ven, ven, ven aquí, a ver, you know, they're just dancing with you, and they don't let you go, and shit like,
Half asleep.
you know, and they're just like, no, 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 tienes que bailar, you know, and it's just like we grew up with that. It's like intimidating us into dancing, you know, and then until you know they got older and they give a shit either, you know. But that's just like the culture we got into. Like you have when you go through the kitchen, you gotta dance, you know, and then till you go out through the to the exit and you're fine.
do your parents ever give you guys like shit? Like, see, mijo, I told you, like, you know, this was the style that we wanted you guys to always be a part of.
You know what my dad told
I
me?
think we're doing that to them.
My dad told me one time, he was like, hey, you guys you're gonna listen to this with your friends. Like, you guys gonna get together, you're gonna listen to fucking Inagata Devita, and you know, you guys are gonna listen to Iron Butterfly together. You're gonna love this stuff later. And I used to be like, oh, this guy seems weird. But then, sure enough, though, I know this guy's all about Iron Butterfly and that album. And it's crazy. Like, we're playing stuff that's similar to that.
Oh, my dad. I learned to listen to music because my dad, you know the Maxwell, you know that tape? You know what I'm saying? Like, they had that fool sitting on the couch and shit, and like fucking the hair, you know, the wind.
Going back
That's
and
my
just
dad.
chilling in his
My
shades.
dad, he was like fuck, how can I explain this? He'd be like 7 minutes deep into listening to Inagata Devita, fucking full blast, 6 speakers surround on the couch in our living room, just like this. The drum solo, he's just like, just singing to that shit. It's just loud, and you know you can't interrupt him because he's there for the whole fucking 60 minutes. You know, he's like, one time he's like, you think Gabriel could play the Inagata Devita solo? And he's like, probably not, but it would be worth a try. You know what? No, you can't even touch that. You know? And I'm like, Gabriel could do some shit on that, I'll tell you.
Now, I know you guys are very social, especially with your Twitter. And for those of you that are watching this, if you can log on to ChicanoBatman.com, there you'll see links to their Twitter and to their Facebook. But as I went on your Twitter, I noticed that you guys live in a very vibrant city. I see photos of, you know, whether it's carne asada or just people, or even this cool like praying mantis. You know, it seems that you guys are really taking a step with all these vibrant things and adding that into your music. Do you guys live in some like super secret world in LA or where?
We live in Highland Park, just right there, on top of the hill.
And that's where you can find
a little tree house.
Yeah.
We all live in there. Just each of us takes a corner.
Man, we live in the experience of LA. You know what I'm saying? You cannot walk into LA and be part of that aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to grow into that shit. You know? We do our time here. I mean, we were born here. We were raised here. You know, we have our roots here. You know, it's just that kind of shit that you just like. It's just normal for us. You know, and you just can't like. I don't know. It's just so normal for us to be like Rialto. I want to hear more about Rialto.
Let's hear more about Rialto.
What are we talking about? Rialto? Wow, give him the feeling, yo. Give him the accent.
I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Go Lakers. 2013, hopefully. Rialto, I'm from Rialto. Rialto is this little city in the Inland Empire, east of Fontana. And I don't know, it's hood. Like, I grew up there, and I equate it to what I imagine South LA was like in early 90s at some points when I was going to high school there. You know, it's different, it's rough. But you know, it made me who I am musically, stylistically, stuff I'm into. It was just shaped by the people I grew up with. A lot of great people out there in Rialto. I know a lot of great musicians, and you know, people don't know about it because it's not Los Angeles. But you know, I was born in Los Angeles. I lived in Los Angeles when I was younger. Grew up in Rialto. That's Rialto.
What I also love about what you guys are doing is that the acceptance of Los Angeles. I know you guys just recently played a gig at Amoeba Music, and can you tell me more about that experience? Was that more of a homecoming, or was that more of a triumphant, like we're conquering the music scene?
For me, it was just like that. Like we just got to this place. Like we're here. Our name is on the top. Like, you know, it was on the banner. Like it was there for. It must have been there like for like 2 weeks, I think. And it was just an honor to see that there. And you know, so I'm from La Mirada. I grew up like in a suburb, like next to OC, and you know what I'm saying. Like for me, going to LA has been like it's basically like a foreign thing. It's like the city is like foreign because I have to, you know, drive 20 miles to see it. I could see it from Garden Hill Park, you know. I took this guy the other day, and we could see LA like 20 miles away. It's like Mordor, you know what I'm saying? From like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like you can see. It's like fuck, some fucking guys in the dungeon over there. I don't know, whatever. Fucking Twin Towers and shit. But anyways, so yeah, that's the reality, right? I mean, it's like it's just, you know, that's my reality, and we all have different perspectives and realities, and I think that's the beautiful thing about us. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're not necessarily an LA band per se, you know what I'm saying? Because they could be limiting in saying it that way. Because we all come from different perspectives, but within it, you know, but basically, I don't know. And you could go deeper than that. It's like where all our families came from and why they came here and all those different things. But at the end of the day, that's what we are and that's what we carry, all the history behind us. And shit, we're here and our name is there at the amoeba thing. And it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to choose. Like, damn, shit. You know, it was definitely a triumphant thing to see our name up there. Like, sick.
Sometimes people call us like an East LA band. And, you know, personally, like, you know, yeah, I grew up in Boyle Heights and you know, I grew up in Pico Rivera and shit. But, like, to call us an East LA band, it's like sometimes people are very comfortable, you know, to, like, try to just put us in that little pocket of shit, you know? And, I mean, all right, it's all good and shit, but, like, but the depth, like Bardo was talking about, the depth about the different areas that we come about, I mean, La Mirada, San Dimas, Colombia, Rialto, Boyle Heights, I mean, that's about an experience, you know? It's like a collective experience. And that's much deeper just come from one area, you know? It's like, almost like the people just like corner us into one little frame of thought because they're not willing to dig in deeper, or they actually don't have the understanding about what it is to come from a regional experience about the city, you know. And that's like, I think a lot of our music kind of connects that kind of experience.
Speaking of your music, I got to listen to your first album and of course your latest EP that is out. I know the transition between the two is very, very interesting because in the second album, that's when you guys kind of took everything upon your own and you guys started engineering yourself and mixing and everything like that. Tell me about that process. Is this something that you guys are going to go more into and just more of that was it the DIY, you know, style where it's like you guys are just doing it yourself, or are you guys gonna look more into more of like a producer aspect where you're gonna try to find someone to help, you know, not necessarily perfect your sound, but help groom it into something that could eventually be even more global?
Well, you know, we recorded our first album ourselves too. You know, we recorded it at Highland Park about 3 blocks away. You know, so we did the first album ourselves. We did the second album ourselves. You know, and I mean, whether or not we do the third album ourselves, I think it has less to do with perfecting our sound or roughing it up. I mean that kind of thing. I mean, if somebody wants to record our next album, I mean, I don't think
most definitely.
we're not opposed to it. You know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, we've kind of taken the liberty to take control of our own destiny in terms of our art, and we're pretty happy with it. You know, in the end, man, like, tell you the truth, like sound and engineering and mixing, it's all subjective. You know, it is. I mean, you can listen to some Mary Wells shit and be like, that sounds beautiful. Or you can listen to some Sheryl Crow shit and be like, oh, that sounds great. Like, the engineering is great. You know what I'm saying? But like, every artist has their own aesthetic, like through audio, you know? And I think what we're doing, I mean, if people like what they're hearing with ours, how's that different from someone listening to, like, let's say Jay-Z, and be like, I like what I hear with Jay-Z, you know? And they create their own relationship with that artist and that sound. If they're creating that same kind of relationship with us and our sound, I don't see a difference. I mean, sure, like, our production is not like $100,000 per song. You know what I'm saying? It's more like what, like $350, you know,
per song.
But if someone could create that same relationship with our music as you do with somebody else, shit, I mean, then we're doing something right. that's like, I feel comfortable in knowing that we can do it ourselves, you know, and we can also carry that message through what we're doing, and it don't have to be state of the art. You know, I mean, we could do it ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And get the message across. That's a beautiful thing.
I mean, for me, I think about reggae. Reggae is a perfect example, and like all the dub stuff that people recorded in Jamaica, like in the late '60s and '70s, and like they just produced amazing music with very like limited technology. You know what I'm saying? Like they just got what they could, put it together, and they have fatter recordings than anybody. I mean, like that fattest. They kind of like revolutionized like the whole sound and the whole like influenced whole generations. You know what I'm saying? With just super fat bass, like super crisp like drums. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, I think for me that's what it's all about. For me, it's all about the feeling of the music. It's not necessarily, you know, I'm not a big like technical guy in terms of like, you know, recording and stuff. But for me, it's always like how it feels and, you know, how it feels. That's it.
If you got a good feeling on recording, then you got it right there. You just gotta massage it into like, you know, a different type of platform. But if you got the feeling, then it's good.
Lastly, I know you guys are a big proponent of taking out like the ironing board and using that like as like your keyboard. I want to know who's the biggest ironing guy, and are there any tricks? Because here's the thing, like when I go and I iron, I always put it like major hot, like all the way to try to get it like really good. But of course, I always end up messing up, you know, my threads. Can anyone give me any aspect into like the proper like ironing to just get it like really nice?
I only ironed in like 6th grade because like, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to crease my pants. I was going towards that you know, that way cholo vibe and shit. That was in 6th grade. My mom made me stop. She made me stop ironing my clothes. She was like, you're not ironing your clothes no more. You know what I'm saying? You're wearing, you know, your shorts got to be a certain length. You fucking let your hair grow long. You know what I'm saying? But after that, I didn't. This guy's the ironing guy. This guy's fucking.
Man, when I was in 6th grade, my cousin, she ironed my bangs and shit. You know? I used to have a fucking bald head. And then I used to have the bangs, you know, like this.
Yeah.
Shit, you know?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then one time, because my shit's curly and shit, you know? So she'd be like, I gotta iron those so they can look fucking firme, you know? So that shit can go back. So then she put that shit, I was like this, on the fucking burro. And then she's like this. With the iron. And then I was like, yeah, that looks dope. And then I put that shit back. And then I took a shower. And that shit was like, oh my God, that shit's coming off. Fucking, my hair was coming off. But I don't know. I've been ironing since I was 7 years old. My mom taught me how to fucking iron, so I've been ironing since. But the ironing board is like, it's like history now. We need to do a proper funeral for that shit because this fool got a fucking badass organ. Did you hear that shit?
Yeah. We heard it tonight, and like I said, thank you, by the way, guys. You guys let me record your guys' set, and I'm gonna put that up on the website. And you know, this is the cool thing about the set. It's not 100%, you know, beautifully, you know, digitally remastered or anything like that. It's very live. It's very impromptu. Most importantly, you're gonna hear the crowd actually react to your music, and you're gonna hear all that energy, which is, you know, one of the key ingredients in, I think, your guys' music is just that energy that you guys are feeding off the crowd.
All right, y'all, we got one more for y'all.
So I'll tell you what, guys. I know everybody's wondering how to get a hold of the band, and the best way to see them on tour or to even get, you know, their new vinyl album is to go to their website, and that website is
Chicano.
Come.
So go log on to ChicanoBatman.com, and most importantly, go out and see this band, because, you know, a lot of times when you listen to a band, it's great listening to them, but to experience them is 10 times better, and especially, you know, to experience them in an environment with a bunch of people and alcohol, most importantly, is even better. So guys, thank you guys again for agreeing to this and to coming out here and you know, just having a good time.
Thank you, bro. I mean, yo, I thank you for like spending the time and researching it. It's well researched, man. Like what you're saying right now is like on point. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Hell yeah. So for more information, log on to entertheshell.com, and thank you. Later.
Pero también me tira